Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Football Talk with myself and Alex. We're right around that halfway point in the NFL season. That kind of in between week 8, week 9 is kind of that halfway point. They only play 16 games, but it goes 17 weeks, so, we're kind of there, but also past it. I don't know. It's hard to say where the halfway point exactly is.
5 weeks.
Yeah, throws everything off, man. But gonna get into scores, then, injuries, player news, all that good stuff. Just gonna hop right into it. Thursday night's game this week we had between the undefeated 49ers and the Cardinals. The 49ers pulling off the win 28-25, remaining undefeated. Cardinals, though, showing that they're going to keep fighting. They ain't giving up on any game, whether it looks like they outmatched or not.
Yeah, and you know what? This actually probably benefits Kyler Murray to be in that conference and playing the tougher teams than most other conferences have.
I could see that.
Like, let's put it this way. This is how bad he's going to be. The ceiling's the sky's the limit here.
Yeah. But, yeah. Pretty solid game overall. Niners, keep doing what you're doing. It's obviously working. Their defense need to fix some things in this game. They gave up some plays that they hadn't been so far in the season, but still got the win. Cardinals, you still got things to work out, but it's better.
Yeah, it's
significantly better than last year.
I wouldn't say a lot, but it's significantly better.
Hopping into our Sunday games, we had the last of the London games this year.
Between
the Texans and the Jaguars. Texans coming out on top 26-3. Yeah.
I was surprised about this. I don't know how you feel about it.
It's hard to say it. I could have seen it going either way. I could have seen it being a close game or a not-so-close game. But, Deshaun Watson did what he does.
I figured it was going to be a shootout instead of a blowout. I figured Gardner Minshew and Deshaun Watson just would have went in there and just traded blows until the fourth quarter. Clearly, that's not what happened. But
as much as I like Minshew, I don't know if he has the capabilities to go into a shootout.
I think it's there. It's not going to be like Deshaun Watson shootout.
Yeah. Either way, it was not the best game for the Jags, but they've kind of been up and down all year. Minshew still kind of doing what he's been doing, not looking great, but not looking awful. Team as a whole still has work to do, though.
Oh, yeah. By far.
We had a matchup between the Eagles and the Bears. Eagles coming out on top 22-14. Bears, I've been saying it, get rid of Trubisky. That's the only option you got at this point.
He had the worst first half in Bears history.
That don't surprise me. He hasn't looked good. It's bad. And, yeah, Deshaun Watson pretty much told you it would be, too.
Yes, he did. And that's the weird thing. Deshaun Watson wanted to play for you.
He wanted to play for anybody. He didn't care who he went to. He was just like, if you take anybody before me in the draft, you're going to regret it. And sure enough, I think the Bears are regretting it.
Oh, by far. Mr. Trubisky needs to be a backup somewhere.
Yeah. At this point, I'd say throw Chase Daniels in and just see where the season takes you.
Yeah, I would do that.
But they probably won't because they're the Bears and they do what they do.
Because they're the Bears.
Had a matchup between the Bills and the Redskins. Bills coming out on top 24-9.
God.
They got back on track after not such a great game last week. Had a big one this week. Redskins still struggling.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, dude. Dwayne Haskins had his first start. I don't know if he's the answer or not the way he played. I don't know if part of the problem, though, is just what he has to work with right now either. It's hard to say.
He should. He has a top 10 wideout right now.
Terry McLaurin?
Yes. He's
Yeah,
top 10.
but he's still a rookie, so
He's putting up numbers though. So
yeah.
I'm not. You can't sit there and tell me he's a rookie. He's a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL right now.
Well, yeah, but if he doesn't have a line to protect him, well,
Dwayne freaking Haskins scramble. It's what you did at Ohio State,
dude. I don't know. Tell him that. Either way, didn't look great.
No, it looked terrible. Except for the Bills. Bills look good.
Yeah, Bills looked better on offense. Granted, look who they were playing again.
True.
So
hopefully they'll take a page and beat the Patriots. Then
I mean, let's hope. I had a matchup between the Panthers and the Titans. Panthers getting blown out last week, bounced back big in a 30-20 win over the Titans. Yeah, I mean, Panthers right now, Kyle Allen, only one loss in his career. That was to the Niners, so not bad.
Undefeated.
Yeah. So not bad there. Titans are still kind of just doing what they've been doing. They've been struggling.
Yeah.
They've clearly ended the Mariota era as they have benched him for Ryan Tannehill. We all know Tannehill's not going to be the long-term answer, though. They're going to grab somebody in the draft.
I don't know who, though. Tua Tagovailoa?
I mean, him, Jalen Hurts. I don't know, dude.
I wouldn't mind Jalen Hurts, but I don't think Tua's ready yet.
No idea. Unless they want to tank it another year and go for Trevor Lawrence.
God. How many yards did Derrick Henry have in that game?
No idea, man. I can find out, though. I think he had a decent game, but he's kind of been, as far as yardage goes, he's kind of been up and down all year, and I don't necessarily think it's on him. I think it's more just the way the team's using him, and they haven't. I mean, he's one of those backs.
13 carries for 63 yards and 1 touchdown. I'm sorry, when you only have Derrick Henry at 13 carries, who also had 63 yards with those 13 carries, there's a problem.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Like,
no,
that's
you're right.
almost Zeke Elliott numbers last night.
Yeah. I mean, he put up numbers, but they don't use him, which is stupid. He's a Marshawn Lynch-type running back. He starts off slow, but by giving him the ball, you wear out that defense because they get tired of getting the crap beat out of them by a dude that's a monster.
Yeah, there's a reason he has one of the longest running touchdowns in the NFL.
Yeah. So,
ran it for what?
Titans,
100?
start using the man. You drafted him for that reason.
Yeah, he's just a huge back that's like, you know who really would like to have him? Probably the Chiefs or, hell, the Cardinals probably would like to have him right now.
I feel like both of them are fine, like who they have.
That's true. I guess our running back did show his worth this weekend.
Yeah. And I mean, you've got McCoy there for the committee. I mean, you all have a committee field with 3 guys that are good. The Cardinals, I think, are happy with David Johnson whenever he gets healthy.
I was
clearly
trying to think
Kenyon
of people
Drake
that didn't
did
have a
fine.
good named running back, and like those are the 2 that popped in my head. The Eagles would probably like Derrick Henry.
Yeah. I think they're happy with the trade with the Bears, though, for Jordan Howard. He's been doing good.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that trade.
Yeah. Really, there's a couple teams out there, but, I mean, overall, they're doing fine. The Patriots would probably love to have him because he'd be better than Sony Michel. Nothing against Sony Michel, but, you know.
I don't think... We'll talk about it. I don't think they use Sony Michel, James White, and...
Oh, probably not.
What's the other guy?
Who else do they have?
Sony Michel, James White.
Rex Burkhead?
Burkhead. I don't think they use those 3. Like, James White, they use appropriately. The other 2, they don't use appropriately.
No, but that's just who they are.
Like, I don't think they know what to do. Like, Sony Michel, he's a quick back. Just kind of like James White. So we'll do kind of like what James White... Burkhead. Well, he's kind of a power back, but kind of fast. Yeah. It's like, come on now. Use them in tandem.
Yeah. It's just not their forte to run the ball.
No, but by God, whenever that one person retires, they're not going to be able to do jack.
No. But moving on, had a matchup between the dumpster fire Jets and the equally dumpster fire Dolphins, though technically the Dolphins were worse going into this game. Dolphins getting their first win, 26-18.
We now have no winless teams.
Yeah, we do. You forgetting about Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati still winless, especially because they were on a bye week, so they couldn't lose, but they didn't win either. So
I really hope they're about to win, and they fuck it up, and they have to kick a field goal and lose on a tie. So they're 15, 0, 15, and 1.
It's a possibility. But yeah, Dolphins getting their first win. The Patriots apparently ruined Sam Darnold because he's looked like crap ever since he played the Cowboys, and the Patriots were right after that. And, you know, when you start seeing ghosts, they broke him. Ryan Fitzpatrick, on the other hand, showing his former team, hey, I can still play.
We're in the Ryan Fitzpatrick 4-game spread right now. This is the beginning of his win. Looks terrible the 5th game.
I mean, you're not wrong. But that's just who Fitzpatrick is. I'm
It
sure
is.
the Dolphins would be happy with 4 wins the way the season started.
It is. It's just, you know, when it's inevitable. When Ryan Fitzpatrick starts picking up that foot, it's got to come down eventually.
Yeah. He's had, well, I wouldn't even necessarily say just in 4 games. He's had his first year with the Jets was like a whole solid year.
That's true. I will give you that.
Eventually, he did crash back down, but
I was more thinking of like the Tampa Bay when it was between, well, who's going to start this week? Is it Fitzpatrick or is it Winston?
Yeah.
Like that saga of his tenure.
Yeah. But, yeah. Dolphins getting the win. I don't know if that screwed up your tank season or not yet because, well, there's 2 other teams with only 1 win and 1 with 0, so we'll find out. Had a matchup between the Colts and the Steelers. Steelers coming out on top 26-24 on what most people would have never seen coming. Adam Vinatieri missing a last-second field goal.
Yeah.
The GOAT whiffed. I don't know if it was a bad snap. It was a bad ball placement. I haven't seen the video of it. But it's unusual for Vinny to miss, especially on a game-clinching one. But it happens.
Do you think that he'll retire after this year? Because he's whipped a lot this year.
I don't know. We'll have to see. Early in the year, he was struggling. He's gotten better. He hasn't struggled nearly as much as of late, but still struggling a little bit. I know at one point he said that he's had to take less reps at practice because that was his problem early, was because he can't really do as much, and it was like screwing him up late in games because like it just was.
Because he's old.
Yeah, he's old as dirt.
He's 46?
Yeah,
is that right?
46 and still kicking.
It's a solid career.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens with Vinny. Steelers, though, have, after starting out 0-3, have now won 4 of their last 5. So, good job turning the season around, Steelers.
Yeah, especially with your rookie backup quarterback.
And your third stringer for 1 game.
Yeah.
Good job, Duck.
Forgot about that.
If you don't know why they call him Duck, look it up. But yeah.
Is it because of that one pass?
Nope. It was not a pass. But either way, Steelers getting the win. Colts, there's a little more to that story. We'll get into it in the player news. Had a matchup between the Vikings and the Chiefs. Chiefs pulling out the win 26-23 on a Harrison butt kicker field goal. Not actually butt kicker, Butker, but you know, everybody calls him butt kicker.
Way to go, Moore.
Oh, yeah. Matt Moore looking just fine. Looks like he's the best backup in football right now. Beat the Vikings hell in there with the Packers. Couldn't ask for much more out of a backup than
honestly,
that.
he didn't. I don't think he turned it over against the Packers either. I don't think he had any turnovers. I don't think he did.
Did he this week?
No, I don't think he had any turnovers this week
either.
either.
He did either. He's played a clean game. He's getting wins, getting the ball to his playmakers, and saying, go.
Yeah, especially to Tyreek Hill. That 40-yard pass.
He's lucky he caught that ball.
It was glorious.
I mean, I saw that. He lucky he made that.
And that's not even the coolest part. Did you watch whenever Damian Williams had
freaking Tyreek Hill's like, yo, I'm going to beat you to the end zone just because I can.
Yeah. Same line at the line of scrimmage, just dead sprint all the way to him.
It wasn't quite there. He was downfield a little bit.
That's true. But Tyreek Hill was behind him, though.
Oh, yeah. Started off probably good 15, 20 yards behind Damian Williams and is just like, yo, hold my beer. I'm going to beat you first. You see Williams just booking it out of nowhere. Here comes Tyreek Hill, and you're like, what the F, dude?
Yeah. Fastest man in football right there.
Oh, yeah, hands down. But good job, Chiefs, pulling out that win. The Vikings and Kirk Cousins losing to yet another team with a winning record.
Yeah.
That's his kryptonite. I mean, he had won one or two games against a meh team with like a 500/ barely winning record. Not so much this time. Though it was a close game. Yeah. I'll give him that much. It's not like he looked bad. It did come down to like
a last-second field goal, but honestly, when you look at it on paper, the Vikings should have not. It shouldn't have been that close of a game.
It's hard to say.
With a backup quarterback.
Yeah, but he's got all the weapons. Yeah, but his offensive weapons are the problem for, anybody trying to defend the Chiefs.
That's true. And the Chiefs held Delvin Cook to only 63 rushing yards for the first half.
Yeah, that's also pretty good.
That's the leading rusher in football.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn good, really.
Yeah. Moving on, we had a matchup between the Seattle Seahawks and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This one going into overtime, and Russell Wilson pulling out the win 40-34. I get it's only a 6-point difference. That's because once you score a touchdown, why kick the extra point in overtime? It's already done.
That is true. I don't know why.
Exactly. Russell Wilson throwing 5 touchdowns on the day because Russell Wilson's a madman and honestly is, in my book, is the only person ahead of McCaffrey right now for MVP.
There's an argument for Garoppolo, but
no.
I think Russell Wilson's better.
Garoppolo's not even in the conversation.
His team's 8-0.
Yeah, but his stats aren't MVP worthy, dude.
That's true.
Against the Cardinals, I'll give it to him. That was like an MVP style game. The rest of the year, not so much.
But
Russell Wilson's had like one bad week. Other than that, he just keeps rolling because he's Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And also Christian McCaffrey, which, by the way, going back to that Panthers game, if you haven't seen it, go back and look up one of his touchdowns. Gnarliest touchdown I think I've ever seen.
Which one?
Goes for the touchdown, and if he doesn't step on this dude, he don't make it. Instead, he steps on the defender and slides with him into the end zone. Not even kidding.
To look that up.
Yeah, pretty solid one. But yeah, Seahawks getting the win. Chris Carson, stop dropping the ball. It's like his 6th fumble this year, and as a fantasy owner, it's taking me off. Also, just not good for your team when you fumble it. Russell Wilson getting the win. Jameis Winston still doing Jameis Winston things and putting up stats, but also putting up bad stats. So, good job, Seahawks. Bucks, well, I don't know how to fix Jameis Winston. He tries to be Superman even though he doesn't need to be, and there's just not any stopping him. That's just who he is.
Yeah.
We had a matchup between the Raiders and the Lions. Raiders coming out on top 31-24.
Yeah. Everyone that was in the NFC North. That's Vikings,
Bears,
Green
Packers,
Bay,
Lions.
And Lions lost this week.
Yeah.
Every team.
You're not wrong. Hadn't looked at that before, but yeah. Raiders coming out on top. Their rookies playing amazing. Josh Jacobs over 120 yards again. I think that's like 3 or 4 games straight
Something
now.
like that.
He's gotten on a roll. Derek Carr using Hunter Renfrow like they were at Clemson this game, and he came up clutch because, well, he's Hunter Renfrow, and that's what he does.
Yeah.
And also Darren Waller, that tight end, also playing amazing. Like, that offense right now, as long as they don't do anything more than what they need to do, they tough.
Yeah.
That defense, on the other hand, kind of struggling like the Chiefs.
The AFC West is not known for their defense.
Not right now. I can't say that, though, because, I mean...
We have been in the past, but for right now, no. No.
I'd say the Chargers are. The Chargers will be once...
They're healthy.
Yeah.
Like, granted, they had a great win this week, but they are not healthy. And I don't know how they beat Green Bay with what they got out there.
But, yeah. We'll get to that game in a second. Had a matchup between the Broncos and the Browns. Thought this could be a bounce-back game for the Browns. It was not. Broncos winning 24-19. And it looks
second
like...
win, right?
No, that's like their third.
Third, okay.
As bad as it looks for the Browns, if you actually look at the stats at this point between this year and last year, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah, and I got some. There's other news in that game too. Whenever we get to other related news,
Okay.
but yeah, I don't understand the Browns. I don't understand.
The Browns on paper should be way better than they are. I don't know if it's the
God.
coaching. I don't know if it's Baker. I don't know what it is.
Granted, you have an interim offensive coordinator.
He's not interim. He just is now.
Okay. Well, you hired an offensive coordinator from the previous who was the coach prior to that.
Hugh Jackson?
Yeah, Hugh Jackson, offensive coordinator.
No, they don't have him either.
That wasn't him?
No.
I thought it was.
No.
Because he was part of something.
No. Last year when Hugh Jackson got fired, they fired the offensive coordinator as well.
Well, this guy was still part of that regime.
He was there, but he wasn't the offensive coordinator at that time.
What was he? Was he special teams? Anyway, regardless of this, he has no head coaching experience at all. So, like, what do you expect? Like, everyone was wondering if it's the play calling, and right now, I really do think it's the play calling.
I think the problem is Freddie Kitchens.
That could be it.
Also, partially Baker. He needs to chill with the dude. I get that's what makes Baker Baker. I get it's what makes him who he is. But there are also times when he needs to take responsibility for playing a bad game.
Yeah, I will say that. But
that's the dude I'm talking about. Like,
you got a lot of ego in one team.
I know. And again, Baker's ego is what makes Baker Baker. But you can't just throw blame at everybody else and not accept it. If you played bad, that's on you, dude. You can't just throw blame at everybody else.
Well, they're gonna have an interesting one this week as well because they get a player back now.
Who are they missing?
Kareem Hunt is now active.
Oh, they didn't get him back. They just finally got him.
Yeah, he finally is active.
I was like, who were they missing? Well,
so it's going to be interesting to see how that backfield's going to do now.
I mean,
Kareem Hunt in the backfield with Nick Chubb.
Yeah, Nick Chubb is still the lead. Like, he's earned that.
He's still the lead, but I think it's going to be more of a committee now because, like, you have Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, I feel like they'll use him more as like a passing back, kind of like they did with Duke Johnson.
True, I can see that, but he's definitely he has more speed.
Yeah,
than
but
a passing back.
Nick Chubb has earned the right to be the lead back.
Yeah,
and if you take that away from him and make it a split backfield, he's gonna be pissed.
If that's what the team needs, though.
But they don't. He's shown he can carry that team.
That is true. I will say that. But
like, they don't have to split it except, to give him a break. Something like it gives him.
Then here's the issue. Then how did they go to Denver and not run the ball effectively?
Because they're the Browns and Freddie Kitchens doesn't know what he's doing. There was a game earlier this year. They were on like the one for 3 straight plays and didn't give it to Chubb.
Yeah, I remember that. And that didn't make any sense. I think you were over at my house when that game happened.
Might have been. Either way, Freddie Kitchens needs the. I don't think he's the whole problem, but I think he's part of it. I think they need a new coach. is what it is. Whoever took over last year at the halfway point is who they should have put as the head coach.
Wasn't that Freddie Kitchens?
No. Freddie Kitchens wasn't there
that's
last
who
year.
I thought it was.
No. Freddie wasn't there last year. He got hired onto the team at the end of the season. Their interim head coach last year isn't the head coach now.
See, that's who I thought it was.
Yeah, no. Not the same person.
Well, I guess that's what happens whenever it's a revolving door in Cleveland.
Yeah. But again, they had a coach that clearly did well, and we're like, nope, we don't want him.
That makes no sense.
Yeah. Browns, figure your crap out. Broncos, I mean, your backup looked better than Joe Flacco, so maybe stick with him.
But what's interesting about the Broncos is what happens whenever Drew Lock's healthy.
You go with whoever's doing better.
I know, but that's the
right now. That's whoever started this week.
But the question is, you got Drew Lock, who's supposed to be the future of your franchise, and you have your backup. Do you hold Drew Lock out to develop him more, or do you throw him in to get experience no matter what?
Look how many guys they've had as the future of the franchise lately.
That's true. That is also true.
That don't mean they picked well. That just means they picked him.
Okay, but with the stipulation of saying, like, okay, you picked him knowing that you want to try to have him as your future.
I mean, I'd hold him out.
Do you throw him in for experience, or do you hold him back?
Take a page out of the Chiefs' book. Hold him out.
Okay.
And the Packers, honestly, because they did that with Rodgers for several years. So
yeah, I would do the same. I would hold him out until I know for sure.
Yeah. Moving on, though, we had a matchup between the Chargers and the Packers. As Alex said, Chargers coming out on top 26-11. Not a good one, Aaron. I don't know what happened.
Dude, no one looked good on the Packers. I don't know if it's time difference. You're playing in California, or if Aaron went home for a couple days while he was there.
Dude, I don't know what happened. Not a good game. Chargers, on the other hand, look good.
Surprisingly.
I mean, they got healthier. They got Bosa and all of them back on the defense.
Yeah, do you think Austin Eckler is now going to be like the for sure starter?
No, it's still Melvin Gordon, dude.
I think they should go back to Austin Eckler.
I do too. He did just fine, but Gordon also looked good this game. It looked like he got his wheels back under him.
It just took him a few, I guess.
I mean, that's what happens when you hold out and don't play for like quarter of the season and no training camp. So,
but
he didn't play for a bit. It took him a second.
I
think Eckler's earned that right after the way he played those first 4 games, but unless they decide to not re-sign Gordon at the end of the year, he's going to keep that spot.
I don't agree with that, but
I don't either.
I'm not the manager.
I don't agree with it either, but that's how they're going to do it.
Yeah, I would have freaking found somewhere to put Gordon and took some picks and some players.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't trade him. Like, they should have. He wanted out, but they're like, no. Especially after the way Eckler played. After them first few games, I would have been like, all right, we fine.
Yeah, we don't need
Where you want to go, boy?
Yeah. But also, I guess I don't know who their backup is to Eckler either.
I did at one point, and now I forget.
That could also be another good reason.
They didn't do bad. It's just a lot of times I forget who the third string guy is because, well, you don't see him much.
Yeah.
He wasn't a bad backup to Eckler, though. I mean, he did all right. And then getting into our last game for the Sunday stuff, our Sunday night football matchup, we had a matchup between the Patriots and the Ravens, and the Ravens whipped their ass. Ravens winning this one 37-20.
Yes, and way to go to Lamar Jackson and not show up like the old Lamar Jackson.
I mean, he still kind of did. I ain't going to rip Lamar today because, well, you beat the Patriots, but at the same time, he still ran the ball way too much as a quarterback. I get that's what helped them win it.
It's hard to say that's what won the game.
It's what won the game, so I'm not going to rip him too much right now, but...
But not just Lamar Jackson. Mark Ingram and the other guy they have running the ball. I think it's another Jackson.
No, it wasn't another Jackson.
Is it Johnson?
No. I think it was like, no. Edwards, maybe? Might have been Edwards. I don't know.
Either way, both of them had amazing games too. So Patriots just couldn't stop the run.
No, but they haven't been able to. They
Yeah.
said that's like the biggest flaw in that defense. They can't stop the run.
Yeah.
But, I mean, obviously, they gave up like over 100 yards to Frank Gore. They couldn't stop it today. They couldn't stop it last week.
That is true.
It's
But
the passing defense that is the problem.
well, even that was non-existent this game too.
Yeah,
Like,
but I'll take it.
yeah. Lamar
To be
Jackson,
fair, though, this was also the first team they've gone against that could do anything on offense.
is it the first team they had that's a winning record besides the Bills?
Yeah. Their record up to this point was garbage. From after this game, so their last 7 games they have left, there's a chance they lose 5 of those 7.
Yeah.
I
can
wouldn't say
see
it's
that.
like a high chance, but there's a chance they lose 5. There's 2 of them in there they're going to win. They got the Dolphins and the Bengals still. There's no chance they lose those games.
Unless there's a miracle somewhere.
Another Miami miracle, except this time in Gillette. Yeah, no, that ain't happening, dude. Not this year.
But who are the other 5 then?
They've
There's
got
Chiefs.
They've got the Chiefs, the Packers, the Cowboys. I know there's the Bills again, which is a possibility. I'm not going to say it's a great one, but it is a possibility they lose that.
They only won it by a field goal last time.
Yeah. And then the Eagles, because the Eagles are next.
Okay, so the ones that they would likely win would be the Eagles and
The Bills are still a
Bills.
chance. Honestly, they could win 3 of those 5, but there's also a chance they lose 5 of those 5.
yeah.
And
Dude, would that knock them out?
no, they're still gonna win that division probably, unless somehow the
Not if
Bills.
they split the Bills.
Well, yeah, but the Bills would have to beat all of those teams as well, because I'm pretty sure they still have the Cowboys and stuff left as well. Because
Okay,
usually
I don't
you
think they play the Chiefs.
I don't know if they play the Chiefs, but usually you have pretty similar schedules in the conference. There's a few games here and there you might not, but overall schedules are usually pretty similar.
Oof. That's a rough schedule, but I'm happy for it.
Yeah. So good job, Ravens. Patriots, you can go suck one. I'm just glad that undefeated season ended. They made the Patriots look like garbage.
Dude, Tom Brady did not look at all like Tom Brady.
I mean, there were a couple drives where he just kept driving downfield, and I was like, you mother effer. And then he had some drives where he looked like garbage.
I thought that was more the receivers than Tom Brady.
Partially. Oh, and thank you, Julian Edelman, for fumbling the football.
Yeah, that was a weird one. I haven't seen him fumble in years.
No, but I'll take it. Whatever it takes for the win against them, I'll take it.
Yeah, but I will say Mohamed Sanu looked good.
That's because he's Mohamed Sanu, and he is good.
Yeah, he looked good. So
He's
he
not,
just needed to get out of
He's
Atlanta.
never been a true number 1, but he is like the best complimentary number 2 you could have.
Yeah, and then where he was in Atlanta, your number 1 and number 2 are obviously going to be Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones.
Julio. Yeah. He's a good number. Honestly, it went back and forth between him and Ridley, who was a number 2, though. No, neither one of them just like took over that number 2 spot.
I
But-
presume Calvin Ridley just because he's younger.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would say for the future, Calvin Ridley, but like he never really secured that spot until, they decided to get rid of Sanu because they're like, we're a dumpster fire right now.
We need some picks.
Yeah.
But I also find it very interesting that the Patriots, they're obviously going to need picks in the future, but yet they went out and traded at least 4 of them.
Yeah, but I don't think anything was like a high round pick.
I don't know. I don't know what the picks were, but
Yeah.
I just thought it
I mean,
was
they got
interesting.
something out of the Cowboys. I think they got a pick or 2 out of Michael Bennett.
Yeah. It's just,
So-
it's interesting that they're not kind of conserving their picks.
Yeah, it's very unpatriot-like, but, maybe they realized we need to make a splash right now and hope for the best.
You think Tom's got one more year left, or do you think this is it?
I hope this is it. I don't know, dude. Like, everybody, it seems like every quarterback before now they would talk about, oh, they finally hit their slump. And Brady's hit that slump, but they won't talk about it.
No, they won't. They will not. They did with Peyton, though, by God.
Yeah. Every quarterback that finally hits that slump, they're like, oh, they hit that slump. This is going to be it. But they won't for Tom, even though he's had some games where he's looked god-awful.
The Bills game, the Ravens game.
I mean, the Bills held him to 150 yards all day.
Yeah.
Like,
What did the Ravens hold him to?
I think he put up like 2-something.
Okay, so
I mean, he had an okay day, but like his completion percentage wasn't that good.
You know what's going to suck, though, is that for Week 14, he'll show up, and it's going to piss me off.
Maybe. We'll see. That's
still
a little ways away. Our last game of the week, though, our Monday night matchup between the Cowboys and the Giants. Cowboys getting a huge win, 37-18.
Yeah.
Thank you, Daniel Jones, for a pick and 2 fumbles, one which went back for a touchdown to seal the game.
You know what, though? Yours didn't do much better either, though. He was just one fumble away from looking like that.
I mean, at least his fumble didn't go for a touchdown. But no. Dak Prescott also throwing a pick and fumbling the ball, so not great. However, Zeke on fire. Ended the day with 6 yards a carry.
Yeah. And Saquon Barkley didn't do jack.
Ended with 2 yards a carry. Defense shutting down Saquon. Zeke gashing through the other defense like it was nothing.
Oh, my gosh.
Had a couple, Michael Gallup, heck of a touchdown on your part. I don't know if anybody else saw that, but that was nuts.
Golden Tate had an amazing reception, too.
Oh, yeah. Hell of a catch on his part. Unfortunately, got ripped out of bounds at the 1.
Yeah.
Michael Gallup having a weird touchdown that I was that was impressive. But overall, Giants kind of looking like I expected them to. You and John doubting my boys.
Hold on here. Cowboys and Giants is always a close game. Unfortunately, the second half on this one just did not go the Giants' way.
I mean, it's usually close, but the one we had earlier this year wasn't. I don't think, I'm wanting to say last year both of them were a decent spread apart. Like, the last few times we've played them, we've had their number.
That's true. I'll give you that. But, man, I just had a feeling with Daniel Jones back there instead of Eli this time,
I mean,
something would have clicked a little bit better.
It did give them a better shot.
Yeah.
I'll give you that much.
So, like, healthy Daniel Jones, healthy Saquon, healthy defense. I just thought it would click a little bit better.
And it did not.
But at least I didn't give you crap for it like other people.
Yeah, no. You didn't give me as much crap. You just picked against them. Either way, solid solid game for the boys. They need to clean up the penalties. Had some really ugly
clean up
ones.
that quarterback.
Need Dak to play better. If we played to our full potential every game, we could be undefeated. The problem is we don't play to our full potential every game, and it's annoying.
Yes.
So we got a lot to clean up. We got a big win, but still a lot to clean up. Giants, I don't know how to fix it. Offensive line
they
first.
Need an offensive line, and then work outward.
Yep.
Fill in the gaps. What do you need? You need a wideout one.
Yeah. I'd say they need some defensive pieces still.
A safety.
Yeah.
I think your cornerbacks are all right.
Either way, they got a lot to address in the draft. They've had some good wins, but still a lot to fix.
Honestly, just that offensive line.
Getting into some injuries for the week. Didn't have a lot of big ones this time around. We had a few. The two biggest being Tennessee cornerback Malcolm Butler broke his wrist against the Panthers, so honestly, he probably going to be out the season.
Yeah, that's what I assumed.
And then Indianapolis quarterback Jacoby Brissett left with a knee injury. Not sure how long that's going to be. They said he probably
strained MCL is what they said.
Well, they said it was a strained muscle in the knee. They said it was MCL-ish, but they hadn't had any confirmation on exactly if it was an MCL or not.
Okay.
That's just what the coach said. He's like, it looks like an MCL sprain, but we don't actually know yet. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully Brissett's all right. I mean, Somehow Brian Hoyer stepped up and almost won that game for him, so good job to Hoyer, but Brissett's clearly the better option.
By far.
Hopefully Malcolm Butler is all right. The other big one we had was Deshaun Jackson aggravating an abdomen injury, which, from what I've read, he's probably going to have surgery on, which means he's done.
You think he's done?
I don't think he's done, but he's done for the year. Otherwise, we had a bunch of...
When's the last time he's actually finished the season?
I think he finished last year.
He didn't play the first half, did he?
Pretty sure he did.
I didn't think he did.
I don't know. He was on the Bucks last year. I don't really pay attention to the Bucks.
He did not play the full year last year.
Did he not?
No.
I don't know. It's been a bit probably, but also, he's not one of those guys that I keep a close eye on because he's getting older.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we had a bunch of minor injuries here and there. Nothing major, I don't think.
Probably nothing to report on, honestly.
No, not really. I mean, Thielen re-aggravated his hamstring against the Chiefs, so he's kind of hurting. Couple guys with the Chargers tweaked some stuff, but not anything really noteworthy. So we're just going to leave the injuries at that. Also forgot about this one. There were two more that I forgot about. T.Y. Hilton is going to miss another 2 to 3 weeks with, I believe it was a hamstring injury before this week had started. And Thursday night, we had a big one to Juan Alexander, who is now out for the season. I don't remember what it was, but he's done for the season.
You just told me this before we went on. I cannot remember what you said, though.
I don't know if I mentioned what it was. Same thing as J.J. Watt. Tore his pec.
Gotcha.
So that's 2 torn pectoral muscles this year.
It's all right. I remember I was going to say something for the other news, and now I can't remember what it was.
Just moving straight over into player news, the Patriots released wide receiver Josh Gordon, and the Seahawks picked him up off of waivers. So that Seahawks wide receiver core just got even scarier.
Yeah.
As if it wasn't scary enough with Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf.
Yeah, DK Metcalf went off.
At the end there.
And at the end of this game.
Yeah. Tyler Lockett still looking like he's doing just fine taking over for Doug Baldwin as that number 1.
So is Gordon just going to be your deep threat or wideout 3?
I mean, you just kind of sprinkle him in wherever you want him at.
I guess that's true. It is Josh
Tyler
Gordon.
Lockett's your deep threat still because he's speed.
Yeah. So
you just throw in Gordon wherever you want.
Because he's just going to be a name to open up Lockett.
Yeah. Or get him the ball and let him do his thing.
That's true, too.
Otherwise, I
didn't think Seattle would be in the running for him. I should have thought of that.
They grabbed him off of waivers.
I know, but I wouldn't have thought Seattle wasn't a team I was thinking was going to go for him as soon as this news happened.
No, I didn't think they would either, but I'm kind of surprised he made it all the way to Seattle on waivers.
That's true, too.
Like, no one else went for him, and Seattle's like, oh, he's still available? Sure, we'll take him.
Yeah. Which, granted, when did he go on waivers? Like, early this morning?
No, they grabbed him before Sunday's game. So, it was sometime between, I think, like, Tuesday or Wednesday, and I think they grabbed him by, like, Friday, maybe. I don't know. When did they grab him? They grabbed him on Friday. So, clearly didn't play this week, but now part of the Seahawks. We'll see how he does. I still have faith in Josh Gordon, especially if he's cleaned up. I'll keep rooting for him. If he goes back to his old ways, then I'll stop.
It's a real tough stake to play in for Josh Gordon. A lot of temptations.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Really, there's not much else in player news. Frank Gore keeps chipping away at that number 4 all-time, or number 3, I think, all-time spot on rushing yards. He just needs like one other big game and he'll have it, but he just keeps chipping away a little bit each week right now.
Do they play Cincinnati again?
I don't think so. But they do play the Patriots again, and he had like 120 yards against them.
There you go.
So we'll see what happens. Your division leaders as of right now, we have the Ravens still on top of the AFC North at 6-2. The Texans on top of the AFC South at 6-3. The Chiefs on top of the AFC West also at 6-3. And of course, the Patriots on top of the AFC East at 8-1. Though Bills only one game back of that.
I was just getting ready to say that.
In the NFC, currently Packers lead the North with 7-2 record. The Saints lead the South with a 7-1 record because they were on a bye this week, I believe.
Yes.
The Cowboys currently lead the East at 5-3, and the West is led by the last undefeated team in the league, the 49ers, at 8-0.
Which their schedule gets tougher too. Now.
It does, yeah. Their schedule gets tougher, the Patriots gets tougher, but still, there's only one left.
I think that's only timed on that one.
Oh, yeah. They ain't going to finish undefeated.
No.
Which means...
I'm pretty sure they have to go to Seattle.
They do. They still have to go to Seattle. They still have a couple other really tough games on that schedule, but, that means the Dolphins are still going to be the only team to ever finish a season completely undefeated, including Super Bowl.
Yeah. But there's a lot of close teams in the second right now.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of those divisions are close. Oakland is real close.
Baltimore or Buffalo.
Buffalo's close. The Indianapolis is close. South, I believe the Steelers are the Saints, I think, are in like sole possession of that by like 2 games right now, which is kind of close, but it's still.
Who's the closest? The Panthers?
Yeah. Panthers are the closest in that, but I'd say they've pretty much got that one pretty solid.
Who's the wild cards right now?
No idea, dude. This doesn't tell me wild card slots. Mostly because at this point, there's not much point in being like, well, here's your wild cards because there's still too much that could fluctuate. There's like, here's the leaders.
Okay. Well, I saw a graphic last night they showed, and I thought the NFC was the Vikings and the Seahawks.
Probably.
And then I want to say for the AFC, it was like Oakland and
probably Buffalo.
Indy.
Buffalo's got a better record than Indy.
Then, yeah, Buffalo.
Buffalo should be one of those wild cards right now. So they've only lost 2.
So is Oakland.
No, they've lost more than 2. If they're behind you guys, you're 6-3. They have to be like 5-4 or 6-3 as well.
I think they're 6-4.
6-4. No, they can't be. That's 10 games. We're in week 9. Just ended week 9.
Hold on, let me pull it up.
They're 5-4 or 6-3, unless they had their bye week, and then they could be even less than that. They could be like 5-3.
Let's see. Let's see if they have that pulled up right now. Nope, that's an old one.
The Raiders are currently 4-4. So
that's an old one.
Yeah, they're 4-4. Dude. They're right at 500. But either way, got some tight races right now coming down to the end of it.
Tight. No, that wasn't it. That was an old one too. Never mind.
Yeah, no, I don't know who you looking at, dude.
They're all old ones.
Yeah.
I looked at it and I was like, well, that's the same one as what we just discussed. And then I was like, nope, 2018.
Yep, nope. So, coming up, we'll see what the back half of the season holds. Got some teams that still have some big bye weeks coming up that they kind of need. Some other a lot of teams already done with bye weeks that could probably use a second one.
When's your bye week?
We had ours already. Yeah, we just got off of our bye week.
God, ours isn't until week 12.
Hey, it's coming up, dude. You getting closer. But I think we're going to call it there for today. Alex, you got anything else we need to talk about?
I did, but I can't remember what it was now.
All right. Well, I guess we're going to call it a day there. This is JC Radio signing out.
Peace.